everyone, this is Josh here. Welcome to Josh's Race Preview Show presented by NASCAR News. This is my first episode, so hopefully you guys like it. Something new that I'm going to try out. So basically what we're going to be doing on this show is we're going to be previewing the race every week. I'm not sure what day it will be every week. It might change, it might vary. So we'll see. So yeah, let's get going. So if you ever have any questions, just put them in the comments below. So yeah, this weekend, Talladega, one of the biggest races. We are in the contender round of the Chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. So let's go over what happened last week. Kevin Harvick won the Bank of America 500 after leading 162 laps, started 7th, and he got his 3rd win. You know, he was really strong. He stayed up front most of the day. He did a really great job of managing his tires and being able to stay out front for most of the race. So Kevin did a good job. They did make a couple mistakes on pit road, but they managed to fight back and battle for a win. So yeah, it's been a pretty good season for them, I guess. So yeah. So his stats at Talladega are not the greatest out of everyone in the field, but I would expect him to do good out of these stats. He has 1 win. He's finished in the top 15 quite frequently there, and he has an average finish of 15.85. So, you know, usually when we go to Talladega, Kevin Harvick seems to be one of those guys that likes to stay out front. So I would expect him to do good this weekend. He seems to be struggling sometimes in races, but I think now that he's got his momentum back a little bit after his win last week in Charlotte, I think he could really battle back. So, yeah, there's still a couple. Our next part that we'll be going over is the winless drivers. We have a lot of winless drivers still this season. We have Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Greg Biffle, Kyle Larson, Clint Boyer, and Tony Stewart. So a lot of those guys you would expect to have won by now, but they just haven't found the way around yet, I guess, to get a win. So, usually on my paragraphs that I used to do, we would go over, or I would go over two of the winless drivers that I think will do good this for the race. And out of those 6 drivers, I would say Clint Boyer and Tony Stewart. We'll go over Clint's stats first. Clint has 2 wins there. He's finished in the top 20 the last 3 races there, and has an average finish of 15.12. So Clint seems to do good there as well. He seems like one of those drivers that can stay up front, tries to avoid the crashes, but doesn't always avoid them. Not everybody does. There's always big ones at Talladega, so it's kind of tough. So, I think that Clint will be able to manage well. In my opinion, I think that he will most likely get maybe a top 10 finish. If I had to pick a particular spot, I would probably say 7th. So I would say Clint Boyer is one of those guys that you would have to watch for this weekend. Also, Tony Stewart is another one of those drivers. Tony Stewart has 1 win there. He hasn't finished good there lately, but when it comes to getting the finishes that you need, he seems to do good there. So I know that probably didn't make sense. Probably kind of went off track there. He hasn't finished good there lately because he's caught up in the big ones. Like in the spring race at Talladega, unfortunately, he got caught in the big one. He ended up finishing last in that race. Tony has an average finish of 17.03. I know a lot of you guys probably don't think that Tony Stewart will get a win this weekend and his drought will most likely end. But, in my opinion, I think that Tony Stewart, not just because I'm a fan of Tony Stewart, but I do think Tony Stewart has a chance at winning this weekend in Talladega. Obviously, everybody usually has a chance when it comes to Talladega, but I really think that will get a victory there. If you look at his stats from restrictor plate tracks, like at Daytona, for example, behind Dale Earnhardt, he has the second most wins at Daytona. So, I know those are two different tracks, but, Tony seems to find his way to be successful at the restrictor plate tracks. So, next part we'll talk about here on the show is one of the chase drivers who I think has a chance at winning this weekend as well. The driver that I picked out of all of the stats that I looked at, it was pretty. Most people are probably going to pick this driver this weekend as one of their picks, but the driver that I picked is Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is great at Talladega. He has 5 wins. He's finished in the top 15, top 10, top 5 multiple times. He had a bad finish there earlier this year, but I think he will easily recover there at Talladega this weekend. So, and his average finish is 15.00. So, Dale Jr., I don't know if he'll win, but I really think that he will pull his way up through the standings a little bit. Hopefully he won't get knocked out of the chase, but we'll have to see. A lot of things can happen at Talladega, so we won't know exactly until we watch the race, obviously. So, that's that. Next part of the show, and this is, I think, the last part of the show, is Jeff Gordon, or no, I just gave it away. This part of the show, we're gonna talk about drivers who did good the weekend before and has a chance at the next weekend race. And the driver I picked, like I already said, because I gave it away, was Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon led 74 laps at Charlotte last week. He started second. He stayed up front all day, mostly the top 5. So, Jeff has got pretty good stats at Talladega. I don't have his stats with me, though. But I would say look for Jeff to do a good job in Talladega. So, I don't remember if I said this or not, but make sure you guys watch the Geico 500. It'll be on Sunday, which is October 19th, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. So make sure that you guys watch that race. It'll probably be a really good, entertaining race. So, we'll see what happens. This race, I think, is going to be really a fun one to watch. Make sure that you guys watch it. It'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think it's really going to be a good race. And, yeah, guys, so I think that's going to be it for now. Next week, we will be moving on to talk about Martinsville Speedway and the race there. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed my show. And, hopefully you guys get to watch the race. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.